welcome to my channel. My name is Patty. I am coming to you from the most easterly province in Canada, that of Newfoundland and Labrador. I live on the island of Newfoundland, and I wanted to get something videoed this week before the week is over. We have two cats, and this is Angel, so she's dropping by for a little visit. Angel likes to be around when this is my stitchy spot, and she likes to be around in my stitchy spot. Let me move some things for you, Angel, so you can sit down. It has been a busy week, which is why I haven't taped before now. I'm still trying to get into the groove of the, kids being back in school, and you're gonna steal the show? Yes, you are. The kids getting back in school and just regular routines and trying to get Christmas things down because I'm very slow at that. And we're going away this weekend for a few days to visit with my family, which are my parents, who live about 4.5 hours away from us. So my husband, I have to tape this very quickly because my husband is going to be getting off work and then we're leaving. So feeding the kids before he gets off, and then we're heading out. And we've got somebody to come in and look after the cats, as we always do. Hey, Angel. We have another cat named Bella, and they are sort of friends. They don't get along that well. They tolerate each other, I guess. There's a few hissy fights. There's no growling at each other or anything like that, but they do whack at each other on the way by sometimes. And Angel here likes to hunt Bella, which Bella does not like. Yes, I'm talking about you. Do you see a birdie out there? So I just wanted to show you a few things. I'm not sure if this is going to be a Stitch With Me video or not. It might turn into one. I wanted to show you what I've been working on and how far what progress I've made. So the first one I'm going to show you, I haven't worked on this. I may have worked on this just a little bit before the end of my Stitch With Me video last week, so I wanted to show you where I am with that. And this is my second Flossmas start from Flossmas of 2018. And it is a Blackbird design, a free pattern that you can find on their website called Now I Know My ABCs. And so it's a really small sampler done in very autumnal colors. And this is how far I have gotten to date. Am I showing that? Yes, you can see that. So this is on 28 count tea and coffee dyed Monaco. I did the tea and coffee dyeing, and I just use Priscilla and Chelsea's The Real Housewives of Cross Stitches tea and coffee dye tutorial every time I dye. I've done it a few times now, so I could probably do it without the tutorial, but I always have their tutorial on when I'm doing my dyeing, just in case I've forgotten something, because I'm very prone to forgetting things. So the piece that I've worked on the most is my Sweet as a Bee sampler, and that is this one here. And this is from the World of Cross Stitching issue number 269. And this is available. One of the nice ladies who left a comment, one of my nice commenters, left a note saying that this is available in for back issues. If you want to go to the World of Cross Stitch, you can find this in back issues if you're interested in stitching along with us. So please feel free to do that. I know myself and Seaweed Otter and Sharon are doing stitching along with this. So there's 3 of us. We'd love to have more. What are you poking at there? She likes, like most cats, thread, so I've got to keep an eye on her. Where was I? I was talking about the Cross Stitch Crazy magazine, and you can get back issues if you're interested in joining along. I'll put the hashtag underneath, or if I forget to put it underneath, because I'm going to do very little editing for this video. It's hashtag SweetBee, B-E-E, Sal on Instagram. And it'd be great if you joined along. It's actually an Emma Condon's stitch along, so any Emma Condon pattern that you're interested in stitching, you can feel free to join in and stitch along with us. And I'd love to see updated pictures on Instagram in terms of how you're doing, what progress you're making, how you're enjoying your stitching, and that kind of thing. Sorry, the cat is really distracting me because I'm afraid she's rubbing. She's not into something, so that's okay. So I wanted to show you, I'll insert a picture here if I remember of, well, actually I can pretty much show you rather than inserting a picture because I probably won't have time. This is how far I was. Last time I had these 2 E's plus the B, and I've taken out the B because I had it wrong. And this is how far I have gotten this week. So quite a bit done. I'm really happy with my progress. I've essentially, because we're taking 3 months to stitch this project, I want to get, I'll go back to showing you the pattern. I've kind of split the pattern up into 3 sections in my head. So I'm working over here. So it will be month 1, this will be month 2, and this will be month 3. At least that's my general idea for how I'm going to do this. And so I'm still doing the back stitch. I mean, I still have lots and lots to do on the section that I'm working on, but I have a nice start. And so this is my focus for January, and it's already the 17th, or is it the 18th today? I think it's the 18th of January. Wow. So I'm running, I feel like I'm running out of time. And in case I haven't mentioned it before, because I don't think I have, my husband and I are bringing our boys. We have 3 boys, age 11, 9, and 7. We're taking them to Disney for 10 days beginning of the 2nd of February. It's a surprise. They don't know. We're going to tell them the morning of the 2nd of February what's happening. So there should be bedlam in this house on that Saturday morning. Anyway, being away, we're going to be gone for 10 days, and that means I may get lots of stitching done, and I may get very little stitching done. So I'm trying to get as much stitching done as possible now, because I know that I'm going to have a couple weeks when I may not get a whole lot done because of our holidays. Now, I know I'll get a fair bit done on the airplane, but will I get a whole lot done when we're on the ground in Orlando? Probably not. So I also want to show you a couple acquisitions that, not a few, a couple acquisitions that I have that came in the mail. I'm sure you already follow, and if you don't, you should be following Bendy Stitcher Michelle. And she does a really neat thing in that people make donations to her, and she raises money for different organizations. I have to admit that I can't remember. So every month it's a different organization is how she's doing it now. It was a little bit different before Christmas. But anyway, it's a great way to get some patterns that are a little bit older or brand new, or kits and that kind of thing. So this is, I had made a bid. No, these ones were purchased outright. So what happens is she uploads a whole bunch of patterns or books or whatever is up for offer, and then you have to comment. Whoever comments first then wins the opportunity to purchase that item. So I purchased 3 items from her. These ones would have been in over December time frame, beginning of January, and I'm really happy with these. So the first thing I'm going to show you, this is a 32 count Belfast linen. It's a 13 by 18 piece. This is from Picture This Plus, and the color is Ariel, and so A-E-R-I-L. And yes, that's showing pretty close to true color there. It's just gorgeous. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for yet, but it may be one of the pieces that I'm going to show you next. Maybe. It might be for this piece. So this is by, and this is a lady, Alicia Paulson, who I have followed her blog for years and years and years. And this one is actually from 2012. It's a kit, so it has, I can't show you the back of it because I'll show you the chart by accident, but it has all the threads for this. So in 2012, I had a 1-year-old. We were living in Greenwood, Nova Scotia. My husband was still in the military at that time. And this kit came out. And I wasn't used to internet shopping at that point. I had no time. I probably couldn't afford it. And so this opportunity passed me by. But now, through Michelle, I was able to get this kit, this absolutely gorgeous kit by Alicia. And I'm thrilled. This is something I've wanted to stitch since it came out in 2012. So I'm really excited about that. And I also got another one called Spring Ring. And this is a really cute small one. I think it's going to be, hopefully you can see that. So it's a little sheep on a hill surrounded by a wreath of flowers. So it's really, really cute. This one does not come with the threads, just the pattern. But it's just a gorgeous one. I don't know if the copyright is on this. This one's a 2016 pattern. And I'm just going to show you this one again because I was fairly far away. I want to show you that a little bit closer. So it's going to be awesome for, it's a winter scene. It's called Winterwood's ABC's Sampler Chart. And this is going to be really wonderful to add to my winter project collections. And it is apparently 8 by 10, 111 stitches wide by 140 high. But as you can see, it's going to be a fairly quick stitch because it's just little bits and pieces. So that looks really great. So I think I've got this afternoon, in order to get ready, I need to put supper on. We're actually going to have supper at about 4 o'clock instead of our usual 5:36 because we're going to get on the road as soon as my husband. So I need to have the van packed up, the boys' clothes packed, pizza made, and all those kinds of things. So this is going to be a very quick video. But I am going to sit and chat for a couple minutes before I have to go. And if you'll bear with me so I can get set up here, I'm going to be working on my Sweet Bee sampler. And I'm working on some back-stitched flowers at the moment. They are, these flowers right here are the ones that I'm working on. Hopefully that's focusing. And they're a little tricky. So let's see how many mistakes I make this afternoon as we stitch together. So I'm sorry this is a really kind of sporadic video. I'm hoping next week I'll get back to my regular 2 videos so that because there's going to be a week or 2 there where we're away where I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do a video. I may do a vlog, but we'll see. We'll see how much time I have. But next week I would like to do a regular update video and then a full stitch with me video instead of kind of haphazard like I'm doing right now. How has everybody been? I didn't even do a weather report, but I am pleased to report it is a gorgeous, the sun, we say here, the sun is splitting the rocks here today, which is good because the sun hasn't, we haven't seen a whole lot of the sun this week. We had a horrible, messy day this week of, I'm a good Canadian, I like to talk about the weather, where we had about 4 inches of snow followed by torrential rain, which then froze. So right now everything, I mean the streets are now clear, but everything else is covered in ice, just covered. So it is lethal out there for walking again. And that is unfortunately very typical of the area of Newfoundland where I live. We just get a freeze thaw cycle all winter. Out at my parents' in central Newfoundland, we are going this weekend because they have snow and we're gonna go skidooing, and the kids are excited and I'm excited and my husband's excited because we're gonna get to go skidooing this weekend. And I'll try and take a few pictures for you to upload next week so you can watch us cavorting in the snow. I think it's going to be a great time for sure. And of course we'll get to see my parents, which will be wonderful. And yeah, it should be a good weekend. We're looking forward to it. My husband has taken off next week. He's so good. He sends me, you know, I get well, you may or may not know, but I'm really lucky in that once a year, my husband sends me on a trip. So it's my Christmas, Mother's Day, and birthday gift. And so I get a trip once a year to basically where we can afford, or, you know, where I have friends or where I'm interested in going. I consider myself very, very lucky in this aspect for sure. And this year, this coming May, I've booked a trip to go back to Ireland. So if there's anybody watching in Ireland, I'm going to be visiting in May. I've got some knitty friends there that I have met through the knitting community, which is my other podcast. And if you are a normal follower with my knitting podcast, I'm also going to try and get an update done next week. A knitting update, because I'm still knitting. I haven't given up knitting. Knitting is still a passion. I don't want you to think I've forgotten you, because I haven't. I have just been, honestly, I've been doing more cross-stitching than knitting recently, although I am still knitting because I still have times when it's easier to pick up the knitting needles than it is to pick up the, to cross-stitch in public. I don't know, I find it easier to knit in public than I do to cross-stitch in public. I think it's because of these. I'm a little slightly, I don't mind using these at home. I don't mind using them with fellow stitchers, but I'm a little self-conscious about them when, I'm a little self-conscious about them in public, I think. That's my excuse right now anyway. Now, hopefully this is what I do next. We shall see. Like I said, these little flowers are a little tricky. It's back, I mean, it's back stitched, so it's easy to take out and it's not taking very long. But they are a little tricky. And I'm going to look at my back. Yeah, it's a mess. I'm not going to show you my back. But it's getting done. I'm really happy with how this is stitching up. I have to admit, this is one of the larger pieces that I've done in a while. I did, when I was stitching in the 90s, I did larger pieces, but this is the largest one I've done in quite a while. Possibly because I have young kids and I try to stick to smaller pieces so I can have the satisfaction of finishing something relatively often, because I find that gives me a lot of momentum to work on other things. Anyway, what was I saying before I went down that rabbit hole? I don't remember. Maybe it'll come back to me. Something about, I was quite intimidated originally. I remembered I was intimidated originally by this pattern because it is larger than I have been stitching on recently. And I didn't quite know how I was going to, what my plan of attack was going to be in terms of working on it. So now I need to look at the pattern to see. Okay, I got it. Sorry, I feel like I'm saying a lot in this video. And I guess I kind of am. So in splitting, the idea of splitting the sampler up into 3 parts, but doing it one a month, that has liberated me in terms of this pattern, because it has taken away the intimidation entirely. And now I feel like I can finish it, and I seem to be doing okay. Now, that is not to say there's no mistakes in this piece. There are. I have miscounted on several occasions, so much so that I gave up with the B in the middle part, the word B, B-E. I gave up on stitching that one and just started working on the side, because I was having such a problem counting there that I thought, okay, I'm just going to leave that bit and work on it later. So that's my strategy for working on pieces that are driving me crazy. Sometimes is to, well, I mean, I could put it down and work on another project, but after stitching that B 3 times and ripping it out 3 times, I thought, let's move on to another part. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're still fitting my, I'm almost out of power on my phone. So it was just giving me that notice. So I'm not going to be able to stitch with you too much longer, but it's been fun for a few minutes. This is about all the minutes I'm going to get to work on this piece before I get in the car, because by the time we get in the car it's going to be dark and I'm not going to be able to stitch, which is a tragedy, because there's nothing I like better than car stitching. I'm lucky enough to not get car sick, so I can stitch. I always say I can stand on my head in the car and not get car sick. I'm really lucky in that. Not prone to motion sickness, as is my husband. And that is why he usually drives, because I can get something done in the vehicle, whereas he can't. So often he will, more times than not, he does the driving. Now I think today, because he's a bit tired, it's the end of the week, likely we'll be splitting up the driving today. It's about a 4.5 hour drive. And like I mentioned, most of that's going to be in the dark today. So we'll have to watch out for moose because we have a large moose population in this province. And they are quite dangerous with respect to going on the highway and vehicles hitting them. So we're going to need to be very careful. Now I'm on to show you what I've done. I finished that little flower and I'm on to the next one. You gotta love backstitch. Anyway, that's 20 minutes and I really, like I mentioned, don't have a whole lot of time for editing this video, and I really want to get it up so I can say hi. I'm glad we had a chance for a little visit today anyway. I know it was quick, but hopefully you enjoyed it because I really did. And I'm looking forward to touching base with you again next week. And I really hope you get some time to do some stitching today. Take care, or not just today, but this weekend. Tonight it's Friday, so it's Friday Off the Grid stitching tonight, which is Caroline at Off the Grid Needle Arts' group on Facebook, which gets together every Friday from your own time zone from 6 o'clock until midnight stitching. And I don't know if I'll get any more stitching done today or not, but I got a little bit done just then, and I'll be keeping an eye on the Facebook group anyway to see what everybody else is working on. So I hope you have a wonderful stitchy weekend, and I will chat with you hopefully on Monday. Take care. Bye.